What's up? What's up? What's up? Of course, it's me, your boy Richie Rich at Consumer Appliance Report. Shoot another awesome video, cause that's what we do. Man, what's up? What's up? What's up? You know, at Consumer Appliance Report, we review appliances. Today, of course, we're gonna focus on a Samsung dryer. Alright, so this portion of the video, we're gonna focus on the functions and the features. Alright, so we're really gonna figure out what this appliance could do. What are some of the bells and whistles? Is there anything unique about it? But we're gonna dive into this appliance, man, and teach you how to use it. Alright, so we're gonna let the video roll for a second. As you can see, it comes in multiple colors, so you can check out the price portion of the video. But this is just a full shot of the dryer. Right now, this is the control panel. Couple things that you want to notice, of course, the brand, we talk about it being Samsung. Also, it says moisture sensor smart care. That's another feature there. You can see the settings that you can use there if you want. You have your normal, you have heavy, sanitized, bedding, permanent press. On the opposite side, you have different settings that you can use as well. So we're gonna dive into this, break down this appliance, man, so you know exactly what it is that you're getting. So we pause there. Normal, heavy, sanitized, bedding, permanent press. On the opposite side, which is the manual setting, and that's one of the things that you're gonna have to focus on. The left side is normally the sensing cycle. On the right, where it says manual, and you have to go from where the line is, right about here, all the way down, that's the manual settings. So you have delicates, that's still considered a sensing cycle. You have quick dry. You have your traditional time dry that allows you to set it for 50 minutes and it's gonna run for about 50 minutes. You have air fluff, meaning no heat, but again, we're gonna dissect a lot of these different settings and cycles. You have also wrinkle release. All right, so we're gonna get into that as well. Allowing the video to roll, you can see different things here. You have your dryness, of course, you have very, more, normal, and damp. You have your high, medium, low, and extra low for the temperatures. It also doubles as the child lock button if you see here at the bottom. So you want to be able to do that. Hold these two buttons for about 3 to 5 seconds. On here it says 3 seconds on top, and that will actually lock your controls. So if you have any kids that like pressing on buttons, they wouldn't be able to start the dryer. You also have damp alert. All right, so it's another button where you can hold, which is the time. So you have 20, 40, and 60 minutes there as well. So we're going to dissect that setting. You have adjust time. You can increase it or you can decrease it if you like. You also have wrinkle prevent, which is also doubles as an alarm off button. So when you look for these little symbols, there's one, normally that's a button that could do multiple things. You have your smart care. Of course, you have your power button here, how you turn the machine on. You also have your start and pause. And I totally forgot, this nozzle, which is a timer, allows you to spin and turn to different settings. All right, so we're gonna dive into the rest of this dryer. All right, so let's get into it. So the dryer here, from what's looking at this particular unit, again, it is a Samsung unit. This is the owner's manual, so we're gonna get into that. A couple things that we always talk about on the table of contents: safety information, what you need to know about the safety instructions, important safety symbols, all that types of stuff, warning, cautions, installation requirements. Again, these are for people that's installing the appliance and professionals, that's professional installers. They'll be able to look at this information and understand how to install the appliance. You have before start and operations, and that's where we're gonna scroll down into this machine. Again, don't forget to read the safety instructions. The owner's manual is going to be in the description box of the video as well, so you can actually see that stuff. All right, so let's get into it. Risk of fire, clothes drying installation must be performed by a qualified installer. All right, stuff like that. So it's a lot of information, safety instruction, just to prevent you from blowing up or not using the machine properly or not installing it correctly. All right, they're trying to make sure they protect themselves. All right, so let's get into this video real quick. All right, so basic information, what's included. Number one, it's your control panel. Number two, it is your work top, or the top of the dryer. That's what they call it. Number three is your filter there. Number four is your door. And number five is your exhaust. All right, so you want to think about that. Has certain accessories, stuff like that, but we are ready to get into where it is the control panel on this joint. Like I said, this dryer, it is fully loaded. So we're gonna start here when it says operation. It says to reduce the risk of fire, electric shock, or injury to persons. Read the safety information before operating the appliance. All right, so that's one of the things that we talked about. Different settings, we already told you this is the cycle selector knob. You have dryness, we talked about that as well. So a lot of the features here we've already talked about, but we can read some of them just for the sake of the video. It says press to select a dry level, and that's number 2. You can select from 4 different options. Please refer to the following recommendation to select the appropriate dryness. Large or bulky loads may require very dry or more dry for complete dryness. All right, so that's one of the things that you want to consider. The larger the load, the bulkier the load, the heavier it is that it absorbs a lot of the water. When it spins out, it could require a very dry or more dry to complete dryness. Damp dry is designed to partially dry items, used for items that lay flat or hang to dry. All right, it says note, this option is not available with quick dry, time dry, air fluff, and wrinkle release. All right, so that's one of the things you want to think about. Temperatures, let's go into that. Temperatures can only be adjusted in time dry and wrinkle release cycles. It says press to change the temperature of the current cycle. You can select from 3 to 4 different options. Please select the appropriate temperature depending on the items in the load. Of course, you have your high, medium, low, and extra low. High is for sturdy cottons or those labeled tumble dry. Medium for permanent press, synthetics, lightweight cottons, or items labeled tumble dry medium. All right, so of course you want to check inside the label of each clothes that you're drying just to make sure that you are choosing the appropriate temperature. Low is for heat sensitive items labeled tumble dry low or tumble dry warm. Extra low provides the lowest heated drying temperature possible. All right, so that's 1. Your time, of course, it says press to adjust the drying time for manual dry cycles. This is not available with the sensor dry cycles because the dryer determines the dryer time by sensing the current moisture level of the load. All right, so you have this symbol here, damp alert. It says this symbol is available for all sensor dry cycles except for active wear and sanitize. Available dry levels are less, normal, more, and extra. If a load contains mixed fabrics, the damp alert indicator blinks when average dryness of the items in the load is 80% dry. It says this lets you take items that you don't want fully dried or that dry quickly out of the dryer early while letting others continue to dry. Then of course you have your digital graphic display, that's number 5. Adjusting time, it says you can change the set time in the manual dry cycles. Time dry, quick dry, air fluff, and wrinkle release. To change the cycles, press up or down until the desired time is displayed. All right, so those are the 2 arrows. Wrinkle prevent, it says wrinkle prevent provides approximately 180 minutes of intermittent tumbling in unheated air at the end of the cycle to reduce wrinkles. Press wrinkle prevent to activate this feature. The load is dry and can be removed at any time during the wrinkle prevent cycle. All right, so it spins for 180 minutes. All right, so that's pretty good. So your clothes won't get wrinkled. All right, a lot of dryers are doing that now. Smart Care, it says connecting the tumble dryer to your home network. Using the Smart Things app, you can control or monitor the dryer remotely. When started, the Smart Care indicator blinks, the dryer enters waiting mode and waits for remote commands. All right, of course, you also have your power and your start button. And one of the notes at the bottom, it says extreme tangle. Items finished by the washer may degrade the drying efficiency or cause the door to open. We recommend that you untangle the items before drying. All right, so you want to make sure that you are understanding how to dry the clothes, how to sort the clothes, and that's something that we're going to get into in this portion of the video as well. All right, so we're going to let that rock and get with it. All right, so for this, we're going to focus on the icon description, and that's one of the things that we didn't really look at, but we're going to get into that. If you look, your symbol for sensor dry, this icon appears on the dryer, operates the cycle which senses the internal humidity to determine the drying time. All right, you have your filter check. It says this item displays after every load as a reminder to clean the lint filter. It says clean the lint filter before every cycle and make sure the filter is properly inserted before starting a cycle. We talked about the child lock, and of course you have your alarm off. All right, it says this icon indicates that the alarm is off. For more information on alarm off, see page 42. All right, then of course it has some simple steps to start the dryer and how to really do that. We can let that roll. You can see it, you can pause it, and you can observe it for yourself. All right, so let's see what else we got. Operations. Let's go into cycle overview. All right, so we're gonna go into the sensing cycle, and it says the sensing dry cycle senses moisture in the load and stop the dryer when the load reaches the dryness level you have selected with dryness. And that is the benefit of using a sensing cycle. It does not run for the same amount of time that you set it for, so it might be set for 60 minutes. If the clothes is dry within 45 minutes, the dryer will shut itself off instead of running the extended 15 minutes, because it's not really worth it, because it's trying to save you energy and it's smart enough to sense the dryness level of the clothes inside the dryer. All right, so of course you have your cycles: normal, heavy duty, sanitized, bedding, permanent press, delicates. Description for most of these: if you're using a normal cycle, it says for most fabrics including cottons and linens. Heavy duty for drying items made out of heavy fabrics such as jeans, corduroys, I don't know who still wear those, but people still do, or work clothes with high temperature heat. All right, sanitize lets you sanitize garment by infusing high temperature heat deep into the fabric during the drying cycle. Bedding for bulky items such as blankets, sheets, and comforters. All right, so that's the best cycle to use for blankets, sheets, and comforters. You want to use bedding on this particular unit. Permanent press, it says dry wrinkle-free cottons, synthetic fabrics, knits, and permanent press fabrics automatically. Delicates for heat-sensitive items at a low drying temperature. All right, then of course you do have your manual settings. So like I stated before, when we shot the video initially, or showed you the video, that we have the left side and it ends at delicates is the sensing. Then of course you have your manual settings here that we can get into. All right, it says you can change the drying settings manually to your preference, so it's all up to you. The cycles that they have for manual is quick dry, time dry, air fluff, and wrinkle release. All right, so let's dive into the quick dry real quick. It says a quick drying cycle running for 30 minutes. The default cycle time is 30 minutes. However, you may manually change the cycle time if necessary. Time dry, it says you can specify a cycle time in minutes. Air fluff, tumbles, it says tumbles the load in room temperature. Wrinkle release, the wrinkle release cycle will release wrinkles from items that are clean, dry, and only slightly wrinkled, such as clothes from a crowded closet, suitcase, or items that have been in drying too long after the cycle has ended. Wrinkle release can be used with any temperature selection. All right, so it releases wrinkles from items that are clean, dry, and only sorted or slightly wrinkled. All right, so that's the benefit of having that setting there. All right, so you do have your cycle charts. All right, so that's one of the things that we love getting into with the washing machine, and we do the same for the dryer as well. So according to the owner's manual, we're going to dive into that so we can make this happen. All right, so the cycle chart. Note: for best results, follow the load size recommendation for each dry cycle. Large load, fill the drum to about 3/4 full. Do not add items over this limit, as they need to be tumbled freely. All right, so 3/4, 75% of the dryer. All right, medium load, fill the drum to about half full. All right, and a small load, fill the drum with 3 to 5 items, no more than 1/4 full. All right, so let's get into a lot of the cycle recommendation items, load size, and dryness as well. So for the different cycles, we talked about the sensing. It's normal, heavy, bedding, permanent press, delicates, and of course you have sanitized as well. Clothing that is described in here, what you can actually put in each individual cycle. So when you're talking about normal, you're talking about cottons, work clothes, linen, and mixed loads. Heavy duty, heavy fabrics such as jeans, corduroys, we talked about a lot of that stuff as well. Bedding, same thing as blankets, sheets, comforters, and even pillows. All right, so you want to consider that when you're drying that in the dryer or put it in the wash machine. Permanent press, your skirts, your knits. All right, we talked about a lot of those stuff that's recommended as well. Delicates, you're talking about underwear, blouses, and lingerie. Sanitize, you also could put bedding, curtains, and children's clothing as well. Time dry, any load. quick dry, small loads, air fluff, foam, rubber, and plastic. And then of course your wrinkle release, shirts, trousers, and blouses. All right, and then of course you have your different dryness level depending on normal dry, if it's adjustable or not. A lot of the settings as far as the dryness are adjustable in a lot of the cycles, except for the sanitize, which is not adjustable, which is at very dry. All right, so you can change that as well. And it's showing you the picture as far as the load size of how much it should be. We talked about a lot of that stuff earlier in this portion of the video, so that's pretty good there. All right, let's get it. Factory settings can be selected. All right, operations. So sensor dry, depending on the temperature setting, or your extra low, and your time setting, depending on if it's sensor dry or manual setting as well. Just to say, for the heavy duty, the temperature setting is on high. All right, so that's a factory setting, and it says can be selected. So if you want to go to time dry, you can select medium, low, or extra low, depending on whatever setting you like. A lot of these settings at times, when they're factory preset, you cannot change them. You might want to change the dryness level instead of changing the temperature. A lot of dryers do not operate on high heat. Some of them operate on a lot of medium heat because, again, less energy, so it's not as hot, but it should get the clothes dry. But if you feel as though it's not hot enough, you can always go to the manual setting and change the setting, change the temperature, or you can change the dryness level as well. All right. Adjustable times. All right, on sensor or manual settings, is up to you. Adjustable times, you really can't adjust much, but you can adjust time dry, quick dry, airflow, and wrinkle release. Wrinkle prevent, you can basically adjust the wrinkle prevent to different settings. If you want it on whatever cycle, if you want it on, if you don't want it on, you can turn it off. It's up to you. All right, so good information there. So we're going to still get into the cycle guide, get into a lot of this stuff, and continue to keep going. The best way to dry items is to follow the instructions on the care label. If no drying instructions are provided, see the following table for reference. All right, so a couple references that we can look at. Bedspread and comforters. Follow the care label instructions on dry using bedding. Make sure the item is thoroughly dry before using or sorting. Make sure reposition in the drum to ensure even drying. All right, so you can also do that with the comforters. The comforters, sometimes it might take multiple times to dry it, because if it's so big and so heavy, you want to think about that as well. It doesn't mean there's an issue with the dryer, but you can make certain adjustment to tailor whatever it is that you're putting inside the dryer. You have blankets. All right, it says use normal and dry only one blanket at a time for best tumbling action. All right, washers and dryers are separate. The dryer, what normally happens is if it's too heavy, it's going to pop the belt. Then the dryer is going to shut off, and you're not going to be able to use it, and you're going to have to call for service. You want to think about that. Curtains and drapers. Use permanent press and the medium temperature setting to help minimize wrinkling. Dry curtains and drapers in small loads for best result, and remove as soon as possible. Cloth diapers, use normal cloth diapers. Use normal and the medium temperature setting for soft, fluffy diapers. Downfill items, jackets, sleeping bags, and comforters, so you can do that as well. Use normal and the medium temperature setting. Add a couple of dry towels to absorb moisture and shorten dry time. Foam rubber. Do not dry on a heat setting. Back, stuffed toys, shoulder pads. All right, drying a rubber item with heat may damage it or cause a fire. All right, so you want to keep careful. Pillows, and you have plastic, shower curtains, outdoor furniture, covers, etc. All right, use normal. Add a couple of dry towels and a pair of clean sneakers to help the tumbling action and to fluff the items. Do not dry Kapox or foam pillows using a heated dry cycle. Kapox, or whatever that is. Don't get mad at me, I don't know. Use time dry in the low or extra low temperature setting depending on the care label instructions. Warning, do not dry fiberglass items, curtain drapers, etc. Draperies, woolens, unless recommended on the label. Items spotted or soaked with vegetable or cooking oils. All right, so we're just gonna let that sit so you can see that, and we're just gonna go to the next part. All right, so we're gonna go into the different operations, talk about that for a second. You're talking about the child lock. We talked about it's a safety lock that allows you to lock Child lock prevents children from playing with the dryer. The child lock is activated. All buttons except for the power are disabled. All right, so you want to think about that. Let's look at the note for the child lock. Once child lock is activated, it will remain active even after you restart the dryer. If other buttons except for the power buttons do not respond, check the child lock indicator. If the indicator is on, follow the instruction above to turn child lock off. All right, so to turn it on, you hold the two buttons for 3 to 5 seconds. To turn it off, you hold those same buttons for 3 to 5 seconds. All right, damp alert. To activate, deactivate damp alert, press and hold time for 3 seconds. If a load contains mixed fabrics, the damp alert indicator blinks when an average dryness of the items in the load is 80% dry. It says this lets you take items that you don't want fully dried or that dry quickly out of the dryer early while letting others continue to dry. All right. Alarm off. It says you can turn the alarm on or off. When the alarm is on, the melody of cycle completion and the power off beep will not sound. However, the sounds stay active. All right, so you can hear a little noise here and there to let you know that the close is off. That's a lot of Samsung, LG units. A lot of other appliances are doing that too. Whirlpool, Maytag, they're adding music to their dryer as well. All right, so press and hold wrinkle prevent for 3 seconds. That's how you do that. Your setting will retain even after you turn off the dryer. You can turn the alarm back on by pressing and holding the same buttons for 3 seconds. All right, so it's showing you really how to get into it and how to do it. Smart care. All right, so that's one of the things we can dive into real quick. Is if the dryer displays an information code, you can use Smart Care to check the status of the dryer on a smartphone. To use Smart Care, you must have the Samsung Smart Care app installed on your smartphone. All right, so that's one of the things that you must do. Smart Care is optimized for Samsung Galaxy and Apple iPhones, not compatible with some models. So you want to think about that as well. So it's teaching you how to really download the app so that you can use the app to communicate with the dryer. Again, when you're using your smart appliance, you can get multiple things off of there. You can communicate with the dryer. You can also activate the dryer and turn it on and stuff like that as well. So that's the great benefit of having a smart appliance. You can do that. It says if an information code appears on the dryer, follow these steps. So you can do that as well. So you can read that if you like about the dryer. All right, so we're gonna go into the video so that we can let this rock for a second, man. Again, you can see all the settings and different settings that we just talked about, just went into in depth to let you know exactly how to really use the appliance. One of the things that we didn't mention is the symbols that's on top of the dryer here as well. That would tell you exactly like the sensing load, the alarm or alert, the filter. So there's different settings that you can use on this particular dryer and symbols as well. So we just wanted to show you that. All right, so when we open up the door there, you can see inside of the dryer in a drum. So I'm just pause that right there for a second before I go into this, and we're gonna scroll all the way up a little bit to page 34 there so that we can just talk about just to really how to sort the clothes. All right, before you start, here are the few things you should do before starting your dryer. All right, sort and load. Put one wash load in the dryer at a time. All right, that is key. Sometimes you want to wash a lot of clothes and we try to pile them all in at the same time. It's difficult for the dryer to dry the clothes. Again, they're not loose, they're piled on. So you want to make sure, according to the owner's manual, to load the clothes up about 75% of the drum, 3/4 of the drum. Do not fill it up all the way. It's difficult for the dryer to spin it, and it's also difficult to heat and dry. Do not mix heavy and lightweight items together. All right, there's two different fabrics. So your machine, you have to consider that. So nowadays you can't just throw your clothes inside the dryer and just hope that it dries. A lot of these dryers are smarter, they're more intelligent. So you want to make sure that you do not mix the different items together, because it's difficult for the clothes to dry because it's two different textures. All right, to improve drying efficiency for 1 or 2 items, add a dry towel to the load. All right, that's another option there that you can use for best results. Untangle items before inserting them into the dryer. Again, the clothes have to be loose and they have to be free so that they be able to be tumbled by the baffles and the heat at the same time, circulating with the blower and the heating element to dry the clothes. Overloading reduces the tumbling performance, resulting in uneven drying and wrinkling. All right, so we do got to be careful that we do not overload the dryer. It says, unless recommended on the care label, do not dry woolens or fiberglass items. All right, do not do that. It says avoid drying unwashed items. I don't know who do that, but I guess if you want to just, you know, whatever, but it is what it is. It says do not dry items soiled with oil, alcohol, and gasoline, etc. All right, so we're going to move to the other part of the video. We're going to let this rock. So again, this is the inner portion of the drum, 7.4 cubic feet. You are going to see the baffles there as well. That's where it allows the close to tumble. Here, you want to make sure this is not blocked. This is the vent. All right, so you want to think about that as well. That is where the heat comes in at. So you want to make sure that vent is not clogged up. All right, so keep that in mind. Let's let that rock for a second. And of course, this is the inside of the dryer. Not much there, just a regular standard drum. It does not have a steam setting. I did not see that. Let me go back for a second just to make sure. Nope, didn't see a steam setting there at all. All right, so we're gonna let this rock, and then of course, then we're gonna also go inside the filter. All right, that's important that you clean the filter. That's the lint filter there as well. So we're going to go into that and just talk about that for a little bit. All right, so lint filter. All right, to prevent risk of fire, make sure to clean the linter before or after every load. This is key. A lot of the dryers have their issues because of the vent or the filter not being clean. And what happens, your dryer overheats, and like I said, it can catch on fire or it blows the fuses inside the dryer. That's typically one of the main reasons why the dryer fuses are blown. One of the main reasons the dryer catches on fire, because it's overheating. Again, if you got to run your dryer multiple times in a row just to dry one load, that is an issue. And then of course your dryer could catch on fire because it's overheating. It says turn off the dryer, open the door, and pull out the lint filter, which is A, from the inside the tumbler. Remove the lint that has accumulated and then clean the lint filter. Reinsert the lint filter and then close the door. Caution, do not operate the dryer without the lint filter in place. All right, so you want to make sure you understand that. Do not use a damaged or broken lint filter. This may reduce performance and or cause fire. All right, so if you see that the lint filter is damaged or broken, you want to make sure that you replace it. This is something that you can purchase yourself. So you purchase one either on from Samsung, or go online, Google it, be able to get that part, mail it in, and then just put it inside the dryer. All right, so you want to make sure you do that. All right, so that's pretty key there. All right, so we're going to let this rock for a second, and this is inside where the housing, where the filter sits in. This is what needs to be cleaned, so you want to make sure that you get a lint brush or lint kit from Home Depot, Lowe's, anywhere that deals with dryer. You can just get a lint brush. It's flexible enough, or get the kit, insert it inside of there, and vacuum it out. All right, or just leave the lint brush just to get all the lint out. All right, you want to make sure you do that and check that periodically. I would say check inside of that at least every 6 months. All right, just to make sure it's not clogged up, at least. All right, of course you have your door switch that sits here. And then of course this door is a reversible door. All right, so that's one of the things we're going to dive into as well. Just to talk about the reversible door that you see there. So you can put it on the left side or the right side. It's all up to you. All right, so we're going to let that rock for a second. So you'll be able to see that. And the inside the instruction, owner's manual, switching the door operation to reverse direction of the door. We recommend that you contact a qualified technician. It is recommended to put a soft rug on the floor to prevent scratches on the door. All right, so again, you can reverse the door if you're capable of doing it, or you can contact Samsung or appliance service company to come out to reverse your door. All right, so all this is going to be inside the owner's manual. I don't have to really go in depth, but it does have it in the owner's manual. It does teaches you how to do it. So you got different things and different clips that you're going to have to take off. All right, so that's up to you if you want to do that. And remove the proper screws and reinsert everything. It's not a difficult thing to do. It's just you just got to take your time and read the instructions. We're not going to go too in depth with it, but again, this is something that you can do yourself. All right, so this is pretty good. And then it talks about, let me see, that's about it as far as the door. So I hope I didn't go too fast, that you guys will be able to see that. And again, it's downloaded inside the owner's manual, so you'll be able to have that when you watch this video. All right, so we're gonna let that rock, man. So of course, this is a Samsung dryer, man. Functions and the features. I'm your boy Richie Rich, and we're in the lab. I'm out of here, man. Peace. So for this portion of the video, we're going to focus on the warranty. The manufacturer warranty. All right, so right now we're on the Home Depot website, diving into the owner's manual for the Samsung dryer, and we're going to look at the USA warranty. All right, so it says the limited warranty to the original consumer purchaser with proof of purchase. This Samsung brand product is simplified and distributed by Samsung Electronics America Inc. and delivered new in the original carton to the original consumer purchaser is warranted by Samsung against manufacturer's defect in materials or workmanship for the limited warranty period starting from the date of original purchase of 1 year, all parts and labor. It says this limited warranty is valid only on products purchased and used in the United States. All right, that have been installed, operated, and maintained according to instructions attached to or furnished with the product. It says to receive warranty service, the purchaser must contact Samsung at the address or phone number provided below for problem determination and service procedures. Warranty service can only be performed by a Samsung authorized service center. The original dated bill of sale must be presented upon request as proof of purchase to Samsung or Samsung authorized service center to receive warranty service. All right, so it says Samsung will provide in-home service with the contingents United States during the warranty period at no charge, subject to availability of Samsung authorized services within the customer's geographic area. All right, so when we're looking at this particular appliance, man, from Samsung, you're only getting your standard manufacturer warranty for 1 year, both parts and labor. All right, so I'm just going to check to see if there's anything else we might miss. Limited warranty, so we can dive into this a little bit. It says the list limited warranties covers manufacturer defect in materials and workmanship encountered in normal household non-commercial use for this product and shall not cover the following. All right, so this is the stuff that it does not cover. Damage that occurs in shipment, delivery, installation, and use for which this product was not intended. Damage caused by unauthorized modification or alteration of the product. Product where the original factory serial numbers have been removed, defaced, changed in any way, or cannot be readily determined. Cosmetic damage including scratches, dents, chips, and other damage to the product's finishes. It says damage caused by abuse, misuse, pest infestation, accident, fire, floods, or other acts of natural God. All right, damage caused by use of equipment, utilities, service parts, supplies, accessories, applications, installation, repairs, external wiring or connectors not supplied or authorized by Samsung. Damage caused by incorrect electrical line current, voltage, fluctuations and surges. Damage caused by failure to operate and maintain the product according to instructions. And some instructions on how to use your product and service to correct installation not in accordance with electrical or plumbing codes or correction of household electrical or plumbing, i.e. house wiring, fuses, or water inlet hoses. The cause of repair or replacement under these excluded circumstances shall be the customer's responsibility. All right, so again, if you want to contact Samsung, you have any questions, you can look into the owner's manual. You can contact or Google Samsung directly. They'll be able to help you with any questions you might have. You have excluded or implied warranties, limitation of remedies, stuff like that. And of course, you have billing address, websites that you can call, phone number you can call Samsung directly, and you can talk to them about any questions that you might have. All right, if you're in Canada, of course, there's different warranties and all that stuff, so you can get into that. But of course, man, this portion of the video, man, is the warranty portion for this Samsung dryer. 1 year manufacturer warranty, man. But outside of that, we are out of here, man. You know we in the lab getting it in. Peace. All right, so for this portion of the video, we will focus on the price. How much it's gonna cost you. Might cost you a little, might cost you a lot. Either way, it's gonna cost you. All right, so for this particular video, we're on the Home Depot website checking out the large 7.4 cubic feet capacity brush black electric dryer with sensor dry. All right, for this particular dryer, you can get it in both gas or electric, and we're going to show you the prices of both of those. All right, so today we're going to focus on, like I said, the price, and we're just looking at it right now from Home Depot. Originally, you're talking about $899. Right now, for the special buy, it's saving you 25%. With the 25%, you're getting about $221 off. So it drops the price to about $678. And that's for the brush black. All right, so we can show you different pictures, show you what it's like. Just so you can see as far as the dryer as well. It comes in 3 different colors. You also have the platinum, and the platinum is the one that we had in the video that we shot as far as the function and features. Check that one out, man. We actually killed that actual video. And when we were talking about the price, you're looking at $678 as well. So it costs the same amount just about for the brush black and the platinum, $899, saving you 25%, which is $221. And right now the special buy is $678. All right, let's go to white. Let's see how much it is as far as the price for the white. So that's about $30 off, $648. But it is cheaper. Original price, you're looking at $799. It's saving you 19%, which is $151. So right now, if you want to get this appliance, depending on if you want it in black, the platinum, the white, or the brush black. They're calling it a brush black, which is black, which they're going to call it black. You can get it in white. Depending on what color you like, you're going to get it for at least about $650 to $700, depending on what color you get for this particular appliance. All right, always remember, price is subject to change. If you look at the special buy here, it's telling you that it's on sale and it's a special buy. All right, so the prices might go back up by the time we upload the video, or it might stay the same, or it might extend it for a certain period of time, or it might get lower. I don't know, but you also want to keep in mind that the price is subject to change, and you also want to think about availability as well. All right, let's go to Lowe's and see what Lowe's got. All right, so right now Lowe's have this, which is the platinum, for $749. Originally you're looking at $899. They're saving you $150, and it ends January the 27th. All right, so that's for the platinum, so you want to keep that in mind. Home Depot's platinum is a little bit cheaper, so of course I would probably, more than likely, because it makes common sense to go with the Home Depot because it is cheaper. Let's talk about the black, or the brush black. You're looking at $679. All right, originally $899, saving you $220. Sale ends January 26th, but you're getting $679. All right, so that's roughly about the same price there. Let's talk about the white. The white, you're looking at $649. All right, saving you $150. Originally $799. Sale ends January the 26th. But as you can see, it says this item is out of stock, and that's one of the things you're gonna have to consider. If it's an appliance that you really want, you want to make sure that you search around and see if it's available in your area. All right, let's go to the last site that we normally use, and then we're gonna talk about Best Buy. All right, so Best Buy have this appliance, depending on what color. This is the brush black. You're looking at $679.99. All right, so roughly they're just about all the same. Originally it was $809.99, and you're saving yourself $130. If you want to get it in electric, it's $679.99. If you want to get it in gas, it's $779.99. All right, that's another thing. Of course, if you look here where it says open box in the local area, you can get it for $468.99 open box. All right, so saving yourself at least $200 and something off of that. All right, so you want to consider that. Let's go to the platinum, see what the platinum is. Platinum is $679, still saving you $130, and was $809.99. All right, let's dive into where it says gas or electric. Again, it's the same price, $779.99. So there's really no difference in the price between the platinum really and the black, according to Best Buy. Again, we like to go into different pictures so that you can see it, know what we're looking at, so you can see it on their website, both the washer and the dryer. It comes as a combo if you want to get both. All right, so when we just about wrapping this video up, man, as far as the price, man, and we're gonna dissect this appliance a little bit more. You already know who I am, man. I'm your boy Richie Rich, and I'm out. Peace. All right, so for this portion of the video, we're gonna focus on the parts. Come on, man. How much is it gonna cost you as far as repairing this appliance? All right, it only has a standard 1-year manufacturer warranty. All right, once the warranty is ran out, now it's time for you to fix this appliance. It's not drying, it's not spinning, it could be making a loud noise, it's completely dead. So we're gonna dive into this portion of the video where we try to help you guys get an idea of how much it's gonna cost you to repair this appliance. For example, our labor is $150 plus a small little markup on the price of the part. All right, so right now we are on the Sears Parts Direct website. We're going to talk about the main unit parts. All right, so if you look at number 7, that's the control panel, right? We talk about that a little bit in the introduction of the video. We talk about the lid. You have that looks like the control. It also has the drum, heating element, power cords, blower wheels, motor, door. So it has everything that you can see there as well inside of the unit, but we're going to break it down a little bit and go into the blower housing, right, and the idler pulley. All right, so for this particular unit, it is a common issue for this particular dryer for a belt to be broken or pop. Dryer would just stop spinning, won't start, won't do anything, or the drum won't spin, and sometimes you might hear the motor. This particular motor has a belt switch, so once the belt is popped, the dryer shuts off and you won't hear the motor spinning at all. All right, so for this particular belt, you're looking at $44.99. So if you round this up, labor is $150. I'm gonna say for this particular part, for example, the part is $50, so you're talking about $200, at least a minimum of $200 to replace this belt. All right, let's go into the motor assembly. All right, with the blower, so you're looking at $261.99. So if you happen to need this part, is a common part for the motor to blow on any dryer, but for this particular dryer, it's, I would say, replacing the motor is a little bit less than most dryers, but you can have an issue with the motor where it seizes up and it doesn't spin. I don't have a lot of issue with the Samsung dryer motors that I have to replace, but it is a common issue dealing with dryers. So we're talking about a price for this particular unit, you're talking about $300, labor $150, so you're talking about $450. All right, dryer thermal cutoff, thermostats, and the dryer thermostat. These parts are common issues that normally go bad. They can actually short out. Again, if your dryer is running hotter than it needs to, these are safety device that shuts the dryer off. All right, so again, your labor is $150. Thermostat, we're gonna charge you about $50 for either one of these, so you're talking about at least $200 on average for that. All right, dryer switch housing, not a common issue. Dryer blower wheel, what can happen, it is a common issue. The blower wheel could either break or it can, when it's break, it's rattling, making loud noise. That's normally what we'll see, or something get trapped inside of it and cause it not to spin. So if you need a new blower housing or blower wheel, you're talking about $74.99. We're gonna say that part is $100. Labor $150. You're talking about $250. All right. Housing, not a common issue. We want to let that rock, let that roll. Again, this is just a mechanical part or a metal part, or nothing, not much issue there. Our idler pulley, real common issue. Could cause your dryer to make loud noises, cause your dryer not to spin as well. So you want to think about that. Part, you're talking about $150 as far as the labor. All right, part, you're looking at, that's about $75 if I wanted to do that. You're talking about $150 and $75. You're talking about at least $225 there. All right, dryer drive motor assembly. All right, so this is just a motor without the whole entire housing that you see here, which is the blower housing. So you can get the motor itself, $137.19. So you're talking about $200 for the motor. Labor $150. You're talking about $350. Pretty common issue there. All right, that's it. Let's see what else we got on here, what we can find. Let's go into the front parts. Outside of the door switch possibly, man, and normally this is just cosmetic use, where the door might deteriorate or might break, minor stuff. Doesn't cost much. All right, frame assembly, like if you're ordering like the door assembly, frame assembly, that's number 4, the whole entire thing. Yeah, if you need that whole door, it's gonna cost you some money, but that's not a common issue. But you're looking at $199.49. all right. Door switch, like I said, common issue where your door switch can break, cause the dryer not to start. When you close the door, the light stays on. You're talking about what, $27.99, $50 for the part, labor $150, $200 for that. All right, door hinges, again, not a common issue. I don't really have to replace a lot of the door hinges. That's pretty sturdy, they don't break. So outside of that, man, I don't really see much there. All right, so their doors are pretty sturdy. I really don't have much other than just a door switch that might give an issue here and there. All right, heating housing, let's get into that. Heating element, you have the heating element, which is number 2. You have individual thermostats that protect your heating element, so these parts would tend to blow. Pretty common issue either way for the heating element or the thermostats to blow. Normally most techs would probably get the assembly because it's better to just take the whole thing apart and just put a whole new thing in. All right, so let's look at it real quick. If you need the heating element assembly, all right, look at the price for this. Heating element assembly, $143.99, which comes with the individual thermostat, which are these two here, and the heater, $143.99. If you're looking at the heater itself, it's $152.99. So of course the tech is gonna get the whole entire assembly because it's a lot cheaper and it's a lot easier. All right, so if you need a heating element for this, you're talking about $150, $200. You're talking about $350 at least to get that joint done. Thermostats, if these were to blow, common issue. Again, if your dryer lint is clogged and your filter's not clean, your exhaust that leads outside that's blocked up and it's not really clean, you got to make sure you get that stuff at least done once a year. If not, your dryer overheat, catches on fire, and then you're gonna have issues where your fuse is gonna blow, or your dryer could catch on fire. But just to say, if you need any one of these, we'll say we mark it up to about $75, $150 for the labor, $75 for the part. You're talking about $225. All right, again, another thermal fuse cut off here. So your dryer have multiple fuses to protect the dryer depending on the temperature of the dryer being used. Normally it can operate and work fine, but over time your dryer wears down. Heating element, your heating element could be defective as well. So that can cause your thermostat or your thermal fuses to blow if your dryer is overheating because your heating element is faulty. All right, so it's not cycling like it's supposed to, so it's extremely hot. Bam, it could shut your dryer down. Cause your fuses to blow. So that's why normally you'll replace the whole entire assembly with the heater and the thermostat together. All right, so outside of that, man, that's it. Let's see what else we can find on here. We're gonna let this video rock and roll. So we have the control. So this is where it can be expensive, right? You have your control panel and then the assembly. So we'll see what else we have here. Some of these parts might not be available. And you have to consider that when you're dealing with this appliance. It might not be available on this site, which you can search around, or you can contact Samsung. Right now, the control panel, display board, none of these boards are available. All right, and that's not a good thing if you're going to buy a product. But again, you can contact Samsung and they'll be able to send you to a certified service provider and they possibly be able to get the part. All right, so you want to consider that. But most of those parts is no longer available. All right, but it is a common issue for controls to go bad. That does happen. The drum is, is number 2. All right, normally the drum there. Drum rollers, so we're gonna get into a lot of the parts. Drum front, which is number 1. Not a common issue. All right, the front here, assembly, not a common issue. It's mostly the drum wheels, drum rollers, so we can get into stuff like that. The dryer lint duct, not a common issue. Dryer lint screen cover, that can break. That's plastic. It is a common issue. Over time they wear down and that can break. All right, so you want to consider that when you're dealing with that. All right, let's see what else we got on here as we take this thing apart. You got your filter here, again $65.99. Again, you can just buy this yourself and insert it yourself. Dryer wire harness, not a common issue. Drum rollers that rotates the drum, common issues on all dryers. So you're talking about $50. Sometimes they might have 40s. Like I said, in my lifetime, I'll probably replace 4 if they have all 4, possibly once. All right, so it's normally like 1 that's bad or maybe 2. So if you need one of those, you're talking about $150. Labor $50 for the part, $200. Dryer drum is a common issue on LG or Samsung machines because they tend to crack. So the inner drum will crack, and when it's rotating, it can make a loud noise. You're talking about $228.62. So let's say if this is 300, labor 150, so you're talking about 450 bucks, depending on the drum that you need. All right, so there's different ones, but again, it's still, there's another drum here, and here's another drum assembly here. All right, so it's $256.99. So it's still about the same price, depending on what it is that you need. All right, vents and lents. Not much there. As far as all that stuff, they don't break at all. I'm gonna check to see if I see any more controls or anything like that. Diving up in here real quick just to see 5.2. See if I'm able to get a control board or control assembly, anything like that, and what's the price for any of those. All right, 5.2 PC assembly. There you go. So that's the control board, 117.40. All right, so you're talking about 150 bucks for the part. Labor 150. You're talking about 300 bucks, at least that. All right, so yeah. Other than that, man, this is the parts portion of the video. Not much here. I think we've dissected all. So we'll tell you the average of how much you're gonna spend on this appliance, and break everything else down, man. We still in the lab recording and getting this thing done, man. We out of here, man. Peace. All right, so for this portion of the video, we're gonna focus on our overall review to let you know exactly how we feel about this Samsung dryer. All right, of course you already know, man, I gotta get my notes, and we're gonna start off with the warranty. The manufacturer warranty. All right, so for this particular Samsung dryer, you're looking at both parts and labor, 1 year warranty from the manufacturer, and that is it. So you're not getting any additional warranty from Samsung. So if you decide that you want to purchase an extended warranty, you can contact Samsung to see what they offer. You can also contact the store that you get it from. So it's either Home Depot, Lowe's, Best Buy, wherever you decide to get your appliance from. You can also buy extended warranties as well. All right, so as far as the warranty grade, we're going to give this because it has a standard manufacturer warranty of 1 year. That's it, nothing more, nothing extra. So of course we're going to give it an average grade of 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, let's focus on the price. How much it's going to cost you? Might cost you a little, might cost you a lot. Either way, it's going to cost you. All right, so let's look at this particular appliance right now, man. You're talking about an original price of about $900 to $1,000. Different sites that we didn't went to. You have Lowe's, you have Best Buy, you have Home Depot. So there's several sites. When you check out the price portion of the video, it's giving you additional monies off on this particular appliance. So right now you can get it for about 700 to about 800 bucks, depending on the color. It comes in a white. You also have a brush black, and you also have the platinum, which was the video that we shot, or what you're seeing behind me is the platinum portion of this appliance. And you can also get it in gas or electric, so that's going to change the price as well. Electrics is a lot cheaper than gas, as far as $100 difference. So again, you can get this unit for a reasonable price because they're giving you an extra buy or sale on it right now. Again, certain spots the sale only lasts for a particular period of time, so you want to make sure you try to get that done. You can also search for open box, because there was an open box in my local area, but dropped the price down to about 400 bucks. All right, so as far as the price grade, we really like the price grade for this particular unit. If you can get it on sale right now, we suggest that you purchase it. As far as the price right now, when we're shooting this video, we're going to give it a 5 because we like the price. They're saving you about $200 and something, man. So that's really good as far as savings for this particular appliance. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, let's go to the parts, man. How much is going to cost you to repair this buzzer? All right, let's dive into this joint, man. When we're talking about this appliance, we already know it has a 1 year manufacturer warranty. Common parts that normally goes bad, because you are going to pay for this appliance to be repaired. All right, so you're talking about a dryer belt, which is common issues for every dryer. The belt pops, the belt breaks, it wears down, so over time it might not work like it needs to. It's not going to spin. So if you're looking at this particular dryer, you're talking about at least $250 for the part, and labor $150. In our examples, you're talking about $200. You can buy the motor with the blower housing, or you can just buy the motor separately. If you buy the motor with the housing assembly, you're talking about at least 450 bucks. If you buy the motor By itself, you're talking about 350 bucks. So you can actually save yourself a couple dollars there. Your thermostats or your thermal fuses, this is what allows your dryer to shut off if it's not heating. So if your dryer is overheating because the lint is clogged up, poor air circulation, could be a bad heating element as well, or a control board. So if your dryer is overheating, it blows your fuse just like any other fuse to protect your dryer so it doesn't catch on fire. You're talking about those individual parts. We're talking about at least roughly about $50 for the part. Labor $150. You're talking about $200. The blower wheel that circulates, that connects with your motor, pretty common issue. They can wear out over time. I've seen where I find socks in it, clothes in it, lint in it, so it can vibrate when the dryer is running, or it can create a burning smell if it's stuck in a position where it's not turning or rotating at all. So you want to be careful with that. But you're talking about, if you happen to need that part, 250 bucks. Idler pulley, pretty common issue on this particular unit. All right. It is a common issue on most dryers as well, but I can assure you with your Samsung dryer, this is going to happen. The idler pulley tends to break. It's a plastic piece that connects to the belt that allows your dryer to rotate. It tends to wear down, where it can melt the wheel, and the wheel falls off inside the dryer and the dryer don't spin. So you turn the dryer on, hit starts, and nothing happens because your dryer has a belt that connects to the a switch that connects to the belt that shuts the dryer off. All right, so you want to think about that. So your idler pulley, if you need to get that done, on average you're talking about $225. Door switch, common issue where the door light doesn't go out or the dryer does not start when you close the door. So you're talking about roughly about 200 bucks there. Your dryer drum is a common issue for Samsung or LG appliances, where the drum tends to crack, and if it cracks, it creates a huge vibration, make a lot of loud noise. You're talking about 450 bucks. Your heating element, you can actually get it separately, or you can get it as an assembly. Most of the times, most techs are gonna get the assembly because it's a lot cheaper, and it comes with a new heating element, the housing, and all the thermostat that's connected to the heating element. So you're talking about roughly about 350 bucks. Your control board is a common issue. All right, if your control board shorts out due to normal wear and tear, you're talking about an average about 300 bucks. So that's pretty reasonable. That's pretty decent. Your lint screen cover, plastic piece that's in front of the dryer, it tends to wear out. It can crack. It can also rip your clothes up. So when you see that it's broken, you want to replace it as fast as possible. So we're talking about 250 bucks. Last but not least, your dryer drum rollers that rotates your drum and cause your dryer to spin. They can wear out, cause your dryer not to spin, make loud noises, and then of course you can have additional issues there. So you're talking about 200 bucks. So on average, with all the parts, add everything up, and then of course dividing them, you're talking about $285 to repair on average this appliance, which is pretty average. That's pretty good. We like it. Like I said, a common issue to worry about: heating element, idler pulley on this particular unit, and the drum rollers. Those are the three. Outside of that, everything else is pretty durable, and they last a really good time. Wow. So as far as the grade we're gonna give this, we're gonna give it a 3. All right, because it's average. We really like it, so that's pretty cool. You know, nothing more, nothing less. That's what we're gonna give it. So we're talking about 1, 2, 3. All right, so now let's go to my favorite part: functions and the features. All right, a couple things that we can mention on this particular appliance. You can set your dryer on sensor settings or your manual settings. Of course, your sensor settings is energy efficient. So if your dryer is set for a normal cycle and it's a sensing cycle, which normally it is nowadays with these new dryers, if you set it for about 60 minutes, it's not going to run the entire 60 minutes. It depends on the moisture in your clothes. So if the moisture is in your clothes, according to the sensor, it's dry enough, then it's going to shut the dryer off instead of running the whole entire 60 minutes. So a lot of the issue with the sensors as well, you want to understand, it's not an issue, but you want to understand that the settings are preset. So when you're dealing with that particular appliance, you want to understand that as well. When you're talking about manual dry, these are manual settings, just like time dry, air fluff, all this type of stuff. So if you set it on 60 minutes, it's gonna run for 60 minutes on a lot of the manual dry settings. You do have different temperature settings you can use: high, medium, low, or extra low, depending on the fabric of the clothes that you're drying, depending on what it asks for, as well as to clean or to dry your clothes, depending on what it is that you're drying. All right, it depends on the texture and the fabric. So when we're talking about another setting it has wrinkle prevent. All right, it says provide approximately 180 minutes of intermittent tumbling. All right, so your dryer does that to prevent your clothes from wrinkling, which is awesome. It also has other cycles you can use where you can do a damp alert to let the dryer alert you when the clothes is damp. So if you got different textures that you don't really want to get too dry, it could alert you there. Has a child lock feature where you can turn it on and allow kids not to play with the buttons and try to start the dryer when you're not home. It has an alarm on and off to let you know when the clothes is done, so we really like that. It also has a reversible door. All right, so you can put the door on the right side or the left hand side. All that is in the owner's manual as well, and it teaches you how to do that. And one of the last but not least, it has a smart care. All right, it says you can control or monitor the dryer remotely, and that's one of the things that we love about this dryer. So of course, as far as the grade for the functions and features, man, we're gonna give it a 5. All right, so let's go over all these grades real quick. Warranty 3, price 5, parts 3, function and features 5, and I forgot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. All right, so when we're talking about an overall grade, added it up, it's about 16 divided by 4. You're looking at a 4.0. All right, so as far as this appliance, we really like this Samsung dryer. It's really good. Really standard, I would say mid-grade appliance that you can purchase for a reasonable price right now. So as far as recommending this appliance to any customer, we will recommend this appliance for any customers that really like this appliance, that really want to buy it. So kudos to Samsung. We really like this appliance as well, so that's really good. Dryers are really reliable. Dryers are not a lot of issues with dryers. It's mostly washers and stuff like that, but we really like it. All right, so you already know who I am, man. I'm your boy Richie Rich at Consumer Appliance Report. Don't forget, you help me, I help you, we both help each other. Till next time, man, I'm out of here. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel. I'm out. Peace.